Now at 9, the provost and executive vice president for academic affairs is leaving Ball State, the legacy she leaves behind.
An Indiana man is earning a special award, what heroic action he did to save a family.
Police have released the body cam footage from the mass shooting in a Nashville elementary school. What they're finding out about the suspect.
Former Vice President Mike Pence to testify before a grand jury, what they are looking into.
We're expecting some light rain chances tomorrow and even bigger chances on Friday. I'll have the details coming up.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Tara Knichny.
And I'm Anna Drake. Dr. Susanna Rivera Mills is finishing her final days as a provost and vice president of academic affairs for Ball State.
NewsLink Indiana's Olivia Sloniker dug deeper into her impact at the university and her future at Aurora University.
You know, I will take Ball State with me wherever I go, for sure.
Bookshelves are nearly emptied and there's nothing but the essentials left on her desk. Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Susanna Rivera Mills, is wrapping up her final week here at Ball State, where she spent the last 5 years overseeing all academic details for the university.
You know, it's interesting. In some ways, I feel like I just got here. And then when you think about the pandemic and everything that we've been through as a campus and as a society, sometimes it feels like I've been here for 10 years. But my time here has been incredibly rewarding. I have enjoyed my time both on campus, but also getting to know the Muncie community. And I've just met lots of wonderful people, and I've really enjoyed that.
The atmosphere she creates in the office is inviting, and she's earned nothing but respect from her coworkers.
It's been a great environment. We've had a really good time, but we've actually gotten a lot of work done. It's a high-paced office, but she made it very enjoyable, and we've really enjoyed her. We're going to miss her.
After leaving Ball State, the vice president will assume her new position as president of Aurora University in Illinois. She'll be making history as the first Latina president at the private school.
I have been the first many times in my career. I have an almost 30-year career, and every time I have taken a position, the word first has always appeared before my title, before my name, before the work that I do. And I look forward to the day when people can take these positions of leadership where the word first won't go before their title.
Rivera Mills' final day is this Friday, March 31st. In Muncie, Olivia Sloniker, NewsLink Indiana.
Taking Rivera Mills' place as interim provost will be Dean of Teachers College, Anand Mari.
Art majors protested outside the School of Art office this afternoon. This comes after a meeting between teachers and students regarding rumors of possible curriculum changes within the art department. Last week, the department voted no against a proposal to condense the multiple art majors down to 2. Protest coordinator Hannah Spralin says one big problem students have is the, quote, lack of communication.
Forward, I plan on urging my fellow students as well as I to just keep administration accountable for what they're saying that they're going to be implementing.
Some students say their first thought was that the university was dissolving the art department completely. Yesterday, the School of Art sent an email to students to address what they said was incomplete information. The email stated, quote, "We have not eliminated any courses or areas of study in the School of Art."
And it was a chilly morning outside today, but it seems later today the sun came out and it was beautiful.
Sun was coming out. I was seeing some Ball State geese out there, but yeah, I'm excited.
As always. And Lance, what can you tell us about the upcoming weather?
Yeah, it was fairly chilly this morning. I actually went golfing earlier this morning. Temperatures were pretty chilly in the morning, warmed up in the afternoon. We had 50 degrees for our high temperature. Right now we're at 42 degrees in Muncie, but the good news is that we'll be warming up over the next few days, and that also brings more rain chances as well. We're trending towards above average in precipitation in our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook from the April 3rd to the April 7th. Now, what does this bring in terms of rain chances? I'll have the details coming up.
A former pizza delivery driver from Lafayette is set to receive what's considered the nation's highest honor for civilian heroism, the Carnegie Medal. Bostick was driving when he saw a house fire. Police said he pulled into the driveway, entered through an open back door, and checked if anyone was home. Upstairs, he found 4 children, ages 1 to 18, asleep. He woke them up and got them out, and then learned a 6-year-old girl was still inside. Bostick went back in to get her, and they had to jump out of a second-story window to escape. According to the commission, Bostick spent 3 days in the hospital due to burns, smoke inhalation, and a laceration.
In your national headlines, Metro Nashville Police released the body cam video of 2 officers today, showing the heart-stopping moments inside an elementary school yesterday, as a heavily armed shooter walks the halls, killing 3 children and 3 school staffers.
It's the latest in the investigation into what is now the 19th such attack at an American school or university so far this year. Mike Valerio is in Nashville and brings us that body cam footage. And we must warn you, the video is graphic and disturbing.
Horrific sounds of gunfire ring through Nashville's Covenant Elementary School. Police say the 28-year-old attacker entered a side door, blasting through with a high-powered rifle. Once inside, the shooter opens fire, killing 3 children and 3 staffers. Within minutes, police are in the school.
Move! Move! There was no hesitating. They went through that door, and they were.
Chief Drake added that the shooter's parents were aware of one weapon, but at one time, were under the impression it had been sold. Also, within the shooter's documents found by investigators was what they're calling a, quote, manifesto. Notes by the killer identified a second possible attack location in Nashville, but the killer indicated that there was, quote, too much security at that location and opted not to go, said Nashville's police chief.
A federal judge says former Vice President Mike Pence must testify before a grand jury investigating the January 6th Capitol attack. That's according to multiple sources familiar with a recent ruling that remains under seal. At issue are conversations Pence had with former President Donald Trump leading up to the riot. Pence can't appeal, but the ruling is a significant win for special counsel Jack Smith. He's been trying to get documents and testimony from Pence for his probe into Trump-aligned efforts to overthrow the election. One of the sources says the D.C. judge is allowing Pence to decline to answer questions related to his actions on January 6th itself.
Nearly 100 House Democrats are urging President Biden not to restart migrant family detentions. Over in the Senate, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says a hearing that, quote, no decision has been made on family detention. The senator said family detention had, quote, disastrous effects on migrant families and children without any corresponding improvement in border security or deterrence. The administration is preparing for the end of a COVID-era border restriction in May that allowed authorities to turn away certain migrants at the U.S. border. Instead of family detentions, Democrats want Biden to consider alternatives, like ramping up of case management and enhancing legal pathways.
Coming up, the U.S. has passed Russia as the biggest crude oil supplier.
And how a good friendship is good for your health.
I love you!
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back. The United States has replaced Russia as the biggest supplier of crude oil to the European Union.
EU data office Eurostat says in December, 18% of the bloc's crude imports came from America. That's a big turnaround. Until recently, Russia was the bloc's top supplier of crude, accounting for up to 31% of total imports until the end of January 2022. At the time, the U.S. came a distant second with a maximum 13% share, but Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 led to an upheaval in Europe's energy supplies. EU states slashed their imports of Russia's energy, and the bloc imposed sanctions on Russia's oil and coal exports.
New numbers are out and they show home prices in the U.S. continue to fall. The latest home price index was released today. It showed housing prices fell in January for the 7th month in a row. After seasonal adjustment, the national index posted a month-over-month decrease of 0.2%. 15 out of 20 cities in the index reported month-to-month declines, while Miami, Boston, Cleveland, and Charlotte, North Carolina showed slight increases. Prices in Atlanta and Chicago were flat from December.
Some good news with parents with formula-fed babies. The FDA said today they now have a plan in place to make sure the U.S. supply of baby formula stays constant and safe. The agency laid out key steps they say will increase the resiliency of the country's infant formula market. It includes making sure that the formula industry can identify risks to supply chains and develop plans to make any potential disruptions of production less severe. The FDA will also expedite review of pre-market submissions for new infant formula products.
Apple Pay users will soon have the option to pay later. Today, Apple launched a buy now, pay later service in the United States. The service, called Apple Pay Later, will allow users to split purchases into 4 payments over a 6-week period without any interest or fees. Users can apply for loans between $50 and $1,000. These loans can be used for online and in-app purchases from merchants that accept Apple Pay, according to the company.
According to a new study, steady friendships may be an asset to your physical health. The study was published today in the Journal Society for Personality and Social Psychology. It found that good friends and good physical health may be even more closely linked than previously thought. Researchers discovered positive social experiences impact not only a person's stress level and ability to cope, but also markers of physical health. However, they also found that social relationships that bounce between good and bad can often be unhelpful.
Here's what's to come. We are looking at slight rain chances tomorrow, rain and storm chances Friday and Saturday, and even more rain chances and storm chances for Monday. All the details coming up.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
Watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level.
Father,
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Back, you are taking a live look at the Foundational Science Building, and spring is slowly creeping up on us.
Yeah. It's nice to see people getting back outside, going on
Yes.
those walks, being outside with
I
your
know,
friends.
I know rain is on the way, but
Yeah.
I'm not too mad about it as long as it's not snow.
I agree.
Lance, what can you tell us about that rain coming up?
Yeah, well, that rain is certainly on its way. It's not going to be very impactful tomorrow, but we are expecting more impacts later on this week. Now, looking at our 24-hour temperature change, we're actually a bit cooler right now than what we were at this time yesterday. That's all thanks to these clear skies that we've been having outside today. Now, looking at our current temperatures, we're in 42 degrees on Muncie, really in the mid-40s up near Fort Wayne, or lower 40s in Fort Wayne as well. We have around low to mid 40s around central Indiana as well. Now, looking at our high temperature today, we had a 50 degrees for our high temperature. Now, our average high is 57 degrees, so even though it did feel pretty nice and warm outside, especially in the afternoon with those sunny skies, we were still 7 degrees below our average high, and our record high, 82 degrees, has been in the books since 1910. Now, looking at radar, we had cloud cover move through earlier today. It also had some rain showers with it, but zooming out here, that was actually from a really weak cold front that moved through. And that is out of our area. We're actually set up to have some pretty nice and clear skies. However, we have a system off to our west that will be bringing us some slight rain chances as we go throughout tomorrow afternoon. But again, those clear skies stay in place throughout the majority of the night tonight. We see some clouds start to move in as we get into Wednesday morning, and they start to overspread the area as we get into Wednesday afternoon. Now, our low temperature tonight will be dropping into around 30 degrees in Muncie, so go from 37 degrees at 11 p.m. past midnight to around 2 a.m. we'll hit 34 degrees to 32 degrees. At around 5 a.m. our temperature, our winds will be out of the southwest about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, as we get into tomorrow, our low temperature is actually going to be when you wake up for tomorrow at around 8 a.m. for 30 degrees. We'll see that cloud cover increase as we go throughout the day, and we see those slight rain chances as we get into the afternoon and the evening. We also do see winds pick up as we get into the afternoon as well. We could see some wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, especially as we get into the evening, but they do start to taper off as we get into the overnight. Now, something to keep note of as we go throughout the later part of this week will actually be this system off to our west, indicated by this kind of blue drop as we got here. This will be pushing its way east as we go throughout Friday as well, and that's also going to be giving us those rain and storm chances for Friday then. Now, looking at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, the good news is that for those who wanted these spring-like temperatures, it's looking pretty likely that we'll be seeing those as we go throughout the next 6 to 10 days as well. Now, taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we are dry for Thursday with the same temperatures in the lower 50s, so that's quite nice. We get into the 60s for Friday and Saturday, but we look to decrease in temperature as we go through Saturday as a cold front moves through from the system that's giving us those rain and storm chances. So we fall throughout the day. We could actually see some rain mix in with that snow as we get into the later parts of Saturday. We get into the 50s for Saturday, but we get back into the 60s to start the next work week. Now, snow's not really a thing that I think is too welcome in spring, but I'm okay with seeing a few snowflakes every once in a while.
I can't.
can't do
I'd
it
much
either.
rather take the rain, and this weekend looks like a great weekend to stay inside, watch a movie, and listen to all those thunderstorms, because I know I love to do that.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I was ready for the sun to come back out, like towards the end of the day today. Like I saw a lot of people on their runs, and I saw dogs out. I thought that was exciting.
Yep.
I don't know.
All good stuff. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Lance. And now we're going to kick things over to Max Robson to see what's next in sports.
One local high school program looks to begin another successful year, and one Ball State squad looks to take control of the MAC. All this and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Max Robson with sports. As the weather starts to change, high school spring sports begin their respective seasons. NewsLink Indiana's Jace Miller joins us live in the studio with more. Jace, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Max. Delta High School girls tennis is preparing for the upcoming season and look to stay at the top with their successful program. I met up with the squad to find out what their blueprint is for another astonishing season.
For the past 7 years, the Delta Eagles have made a state appearance, 3 of those being team appearances and 4 being individual. With a recent resume like that, the Eagles have some high expectations. Head coach Tim Cleland has been working with this year's squad to prepare them for another great season.
Never worry about the winning aspect of it. We try to get better every day, and our belief is that the winning will take care of itself. So we just try to practice hard, prepare for whatever's next, and take it one step at a time and then just see where it goes.
With practice being the focus of Cleland's vision, he has the players on the same page. This season, 5 of the 8 state qualifying players are returning. Having the experience of being on the big stage, they are hungry to get back to the state level.
And so I think state, also that experience of knowing what real competition looks like, will help me prepare for earlier in the season, because I wasn't too prepared last year early in the season, so I think that just makes a huge difference.
I think our team has prepared very well. We've done a lot of conditioning, a lot of practices, and a lot of just team bonding and building, so I think we'll be very strong.
Like with that motivation and just like all the things that I experienced, it'll definitely help for this season.
All around, confidence is high with Eagles. Cleland knows that with his team, anything is possible, and he is ready for whatever happens.
I feel good about it. I mean, like I say, we've got good girls, and we've got some nice players. We have a big team, 35 girls. So we just get out here and have a bunch of fun and try to do what we do and then see where we go.
The Eagles are set to start their season with their first match at Greenfield Central on April 10th at 5:30. Now let's send it back over to Max for a look at Ball State athletics.
Thanks, Jace. Still atop of the MAC standings, softball comes out of another intense division showdown earlier today. The Cardinals face off in a doubleheader against Northern Illinois Huskies. In Game 1, the Cardinals secure a strong 2-1 win over the Huskies with a solid performance at the mound. In Game 2, the Cards went down 5-0 in the first and came back to tie it at 5 at the end of the first. After a back-and-forth game, the Cardinals gave up 7 runs in the 5th inning. Ball State brought it back within 3 but fell just short. The Cardinals losing a heartbreaker 10-14 to end day 1 1-1. Ball State still looks strong atop of the MAC with a 5-2 record and a 15-13 record overall on the year. Softball will take on the Huskies once again in Game 3 tomorrow at 1 p.m. With softball adding up wins this season, gymnastics looks to continue their wins from an already successful season. Ball State is off to Norman, Oklahoma for the NCAA Regional. This is the second time in school history where Ball State advances to the regional as a team. Cardinals will battle it out against NC State tomorrow at 3 p.m. Speaking of success, Ball State men's golf competes in the Butler Invitational in Indianapolis. And after the first 2 rounds, the Cardinals did not disappoint. Ball State breaks a single-round record for the team score with 266. All 5 Cardinals finish first round on Monday in the top 25. The Invitational wraps up today with Ball State still unsure of where they're ending. So guys, gymnastics is still looking to push ahead and I'm looking really forward to that regional.
Yeah, we wish them the best of luck. Thank you so much, Max. After the break, we have an inside look at a book club on campus.
And Lance has one final look at your forecast.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Cardinal Classics is ready to end the year off strong with a new book. The Ball State Book Club is reading The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison through the rest of the semester. The club has open discussions about the literature every time they meet.
Interesting to have a club where students and faculty could kind of get together, low stakes environment, and discuss books that wouldn't just be about the book itself, but also broader themes and topics, and have discussions about, history, current events, that sort of thing.
Cardinal Classics is open to all Ball State students to join on the fun with the final book of the year. For more information on upcoming meetings, go to bsu.campuslabs.com.
Pepsi is saying out with the old and in with the new. With the old, just unveiled a new nostalgic logo, and to some it might look familiar. Yes, the logo looks a lot like a modern version of a retro one. It seems customers are attached to the old logo from the 1900s, so the company went back to it. They did add some new elements though. The fonts and font color are different. It also has a new border.
Loving the look of the old logo there. Lance, can you give us a final look at that weather?
Yeah, we're looking at really 50s and 60s, a nice start off to the spring. However, we do have multiple systems that move its way on through, giving us multiple rain and storm chances, but rather take that over a bunch of snow chances, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Lance. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.